don't know if y'all feel the same way as me, but this episode was hilarious to me. I don't know why. Well, actually, I do know why. I'm gonna tell y'all. But this is probably one of the better episodes that Zeus has put out this season. We are 18 episodes in, and that alone is annoying as fuck. But this episode was probably the most. This is probably the most I actually didn't scream at the camera. Like, I didn't scream at the TV watching it, mad at the TV. I was cracking up the whole time. But you already know what to do. Thank y'all again so much for supporting as always. I think I got like 64 new subs. We super duper close to 2,000 now. If y'all want to help me get there, thumbs up that video. Drop a comment down below. Keep the interactions as good as possible. I've been dropping these as live recaps, or not live recaps. They are live recaps now. Well, not live, but I'm dropping the recap live, and I get to interact with y'all. And I appreciate y'all that do interact in the chat, but make sure to jump in the comments. Keep that engagement going. Continue to thumbs up the video, drop the comments, share the video, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all on the other end. Let's go. All right, so we get Suki and Rollie. We finally get to see what actually happened at the end of Rollie pushing at her like the hippo she is. And that's literally all that happened. Rollie pushed her weight on Suki and didn't do nothing. Like, from what I saw, when security jumped in to try and stop it, but when they was doing it, the only person that was swinging was Suki. And she connected a couple times. And so if you want to ask me, Suki didn't get her ass beat. And I'm saying that purposely because we're going to find out later on somebody with her contrary to popular belief statements. Yeah, y'all know how Rollie is. Rollie gets to thinking that anytime she's in a fight, she won the fight. But we're going to get to that later on. But Rollie's sitting there talking about how she was trying to spare Suki, and Rollie ends up throwing some, and it ends up hitting Sapphire. I don't know if she intended to hit Sapphire, but she did. I want to make that a note, because do you think Sapphire did anything when she got hit in the face? And she got hit in the face good, because I don't know if it might have been a plate or like one of them to-go boxes. It hit her clean in her face, so I know she felt it. But do you think Sapphire did anything? No. Like, Sapphire ain't about shit. But Mariah's sitting there trying to be funny, talking about Suki got her ass beat, which did not happen. You want to be talking about somebody getting their ass beat. But Anna's sitting here saying the same thing I am. Like, Sapphire, we sitting here watching your friend get it up with two different girls, and you're just standing there not doing nothing. You trying to diffuse the situation, but that's it. And she did jump. I do see where she's claiming that she jumped across the table to try and get to Rollie. She didn't jump. She got on the table. She didn't jump across it with intention. It didn't look like she was trying to actually go get Rollie and try to fight her like she had everybody thinking online earlier this week. So that's cap. We all knew it was cap though. But Suki didn't ask Rollie and says, "Where's your wig at?" And she says, and then Rollie ends up saying, "Where's yours? The cap is on your head." And I'm like, the audacity of you saying that, because every time your wig gets snatched, we see a bunch of shit under yours, and it's not the cap. It's the lack of hair back there. We're going to get on that later on, too. But Rollie starts twirling her wig, trying to be funny and stuff. Suki really don't care. But Suki is saying that she don't give a fuck about how big a bitch is. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. I said, exactly. I've always said that. I don't care who you are. If you got an issue with me, big, small, fat, large, small, I don't care what it is. If you got an issue, we can get it up. And Suki also mentions here, too, every time Rollie gets into a fight, she thinks she won. How many times have I said that this season? Rollie is the type of person that when she gets in a fight, she thinks she wins every single time she got into a fight. And she doesn't win every time she gets into a fight. Like, I'm glad Suki said it. And that's the first of many truths that Suki has said about Rollie. And just period. She said a lot of facts tonight. But she on Rollie right now. So Suki then says that Rollie can't fight no more than 15 seconds, which is the truth, because she said because of them love handles. And I said she got more than some love handles. She got a lot going on, but she's right. Rollie can't go 15 rounds, which is why I say if you really want to get her and really get her good, make her work. Make her work. Because like what she said, after 15 seconds, she's going to be tired and you're going to really be able to fuck her up. But Rollie is sitting there telling her to go eat some more ass, and Suki says she will. Like, you telling her that, you act like she's not, that's part of her brand. Like, you're not going to hurt her by saying that. Like, Rollie, and it's funny too, because it gets progressively worse for Rollie, because you see that Rollie, her intellect and her vernacular and her vocabulary is very subject and it's very elementary. Like, you could tell Rollie she probably didn't even get her GED. I don't think she graduated high school. She couldn't have. because she cannot keep up with Suki. She cannot. Well, I'm about to get back to the rest. I wrote so many notes of what Suki said to her because it was cracking me up the whole time. I had to keep pausing it because I was laughing so fucking hard. But she told her to do that. Suki said she will. She flashes her titties and stuff, and then she tells her that her son is ugly. Normally, I try not to laugh when people start talking about people's kids, but that was hilarious. It was, and I don't care. She said, fuck you and your son, bitch. You in the middle of a fight. Everybody gonna say what they want to say and do what they want to do when you're in the middle of a fight. There's no rules, essentially. So, Rollie had the audacity to call Suki a broke ass hoe. Suki said, bitch, I'm rich. Like, you have the audacity, looking at how you've been living, looking at how you look, looking at the fact that you literally are on Section 8, that you are on food stamps. Suki don't have, she's not on assisted living. That, like, it's just like Rollie, that's where you see like she's lacking mental skills. She can't say nothing to Suki because she don't have nothing else to say. She know good and damn well all the shit that she's saying to Suki is literally what applies to her, and I'm gonna get to it. But Rollie was talking about how Suki, she bashed Suki's head into a wall, knocking her head into a wall, saying that she sucks toes on OnlyFans. And I'm like, you didn't bash her head into the wall because we saw. Like, you tried to, with all that weight coming at her, you should have bashed her into that. You should have knocked her ass through that wall, considering how fat you are. But sucking toes on OnlyFans, like sitting there saying stuff like that, okay, and you wish that you probably are doing that too. I was gonna say you wish that you was doing it, but she probably is. Only difference is she ain't making no money off of it because nobody will pay to see it because don't nobody want to see that. Don't nobody want to see you on OnlyFans sucking toes, nor do they want to see you without clothes, let alone fucking somebody. But ET's weird ass starts throwing water in Suki's face, and she did get her good. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That's probably one of the most accurate water slings that I see because she definitely got her. Suki immediately tells Sapphire, fuck her up. Fuck her up. Because, like, right, essentially at this point, it's 2 versus 1. I'm sitting here fighting Rollie, and then this bitch throws the water in my face. Now it's time for you to jump in and defend me because it's 2 of them on me. Because what if ET threw that water in her face and Suki couldn't see? Or what if it was something else other than water? What if it was liquor and Suki couldn't see? And say both of them would have charged on her. What would a Sapphire done then? I doubt she would have done anything. But she telling her to fuck her up and stuff. And what did Sapphire's punk ass do? Nothing. Rollie then says that Suki wanted Sapphire to fight her battles. Here we go with the hypocrisy. She wanted Suki wanted Sapphire to fight her battles, and she can't be sending people to fight her battles if she starts shit. Yet you're real bitch, because this is what Rollie said that ET's a real bitch for throwing that water. Your real bitch couldn't handle something that she started because you jumped in. You didn't give her a chance to handle her shit. So does that apply to her too? Because she started the shit with Suki, essentially, because Suki didn't like the fact that ET's jumping in on somebody else's shit when Natalie and Smiley are going back and forth and she throws water on her. So that's her jumping into somebody else's shit. And then you end up taking her issue with Suki and trying to make it yours. So does that apply to ET now? Like, and then she says too, like, Sapphire's your friend. That's not your lapdog. First of all, that's not her friend. Sapphire is not Suki's friend. We see that the entire episode. And then you talking about somebody's lapdog. That's what ET is for you. ET is the one that's literally doing she's doing your dirty work. She's your lapdog. I can't stand this woman. I was about to say I hate her, but hate is a strong word, but I can't stand roly-poly snack meals. But ET sitting there talking about she don't give a fuck because she started with the right one, talking about Suki. She says she's petty. Like, we know, okay. Which is why, like I said, if y'all watched the live that me and Movie Bay did Thursday, I was trying to, like, the good person in me was like, damn, but she really got jumped. I low-key feel bad about that. No, I don't. Lying. No, I don't. I don't feel bad because she does shit like this. And it's like you always remember everything. When you want to have compassion for somebody in situations like that, you remember everything that they've done. And you see how she acts here. And you see how she acts online. And you see what she does. Like, I don't feel bad for her. She's a nasty person. Like, she's a loser. But E.T. saying to Suki, oh, I'm a punk ass bitch. And Suki said, yeah, you are. You are a punk ass bitch. And she is. Because, like, why are you letting Rollie fight your own battles? I'd have told Rollie to stand down. Like, E.T. being this fighter that she claims she is, I would have told Rollie, stop trying to fight my battles. I can handle my own shit. If I got a one-on-one with her, I'm going to handle it by myself. I don't need you doing it because you're just doing too much at this point. You're trying your best to make somebody else's issue yours. That would have pissed me off about Rollie. But Sapphire then is trying to restrain Suki, which is pissing her off, and it's pissing me off watching it. The way she kept trying to restrain Suki at this point, like, your friend is not even being attacked. Well, she's being attacked, but she's not even getting a chance to even get to them. So why are you restraining me? Get off of me. And it's like, get off of me too, because you ain't done nothing to help defend me. It's two girls on me at one time, and you ain't popped a grape. You ain't done nothing. You ain't throw nothing. You ain't spit in somebody's face. You ain't cuss nobody out. But here you are sitting here trying to restrain me. I'd have swung on her ass too. But Suki was like, what is wrong with you? I don't understand what's wrong with you. Are you scared? And I'm like, yeah, that's a good question, because it definitely looks like it. Sapphire then is claiming, pretty much telling Suki to chill out. She's trying to find peace between both parties. And I'm like, what? Trying to find peace? There is no peace. Like, that would have been helpful a couple before they got in each other's face. But no. At this point, there's beef. Hands have been thrown. Water has been thrown in your friend's face, and you ain't done nothing about it. At this point, fuck the peace. Get in there and start swinging. Like, that's what you need to do as a friend. You're not a friend. And Suki told her, fuck you. Like, get out of my face. And then Sapphire is saying, like, she's trying to restrain everything and trying not to look at what Suki had said because Suki had said some hurtful things to her. I'm like, fuck you. Like, hurtful things. She wouldn't have said it if you wouldn't have done what you didn't do anything. Like, if you would have did something, she wouldn't have said nothing. She had every right to say what she said to you. But Sapphire's still trying to restrain her, screaming in her face at this point for Suki not listening. And I'm like, man, fuck all that. And that's exactly what Suki was saying. Get out of my face. And Rollie's still sitting here talking about how she forced her to beat her ass. Delusional. You didn't beat her ass. Like, she is delusional. And then says, send that bitch back to the trenches. Rollie told the producers to send Suki back to the trenches. Again, Suki does not need to be on the show. Suki not getting a check from Zeus, Suki will still continue to live the life that she has. Rollie, you getting cut from this show, not getting a check from Zeus, you gonna for real be back in that Section 8. You gonna be for real back in that food stamp line. And your son, what about your son? How is he gonna eat? Think about that. Talking about sending somebody back to the trenches. You are still living in the trenches, and you've been on Zeus for 5 years. Wake that up. Wake that up. But Suki says, shut the fuck up, you fat asshole. Like, shut up. And Rollie starts talking about how her cat, her Pussy, is clean. Delusional again, because we all know that thing stank. Because if you know one thing about people her size, I ain't gonna say it for all people, and if you are of her size, don't take offense to this, but most people of her size, they can't reach every area. And most ones that I've encountered have body odor, and it's not good. But Rollie ends up saying that, and Suki says that your booty is shitty, and your pores are leaking cognac. That's the first part. This is where she's literally about to just let loose on Rollie. So that made me die. Rollie starts twerking her fat, nasty ass, like skirt up and everything. And Suki said, you got doo-doo on your ass. And then she said, you look like a hippo. And Rollie said that she was a sexy hippo. And then Suki said, no, you're not. You are bald in the back. Boy, when I tell you I hollered. I died laughing. And E.T., I don't know if y'all caught it. I don't care what nobody says. They might try and say it was edited. It was a different moment. E.T. ass was laughing. And I know for a fact she was laughing at what Suki was saying. E.T. was laughing a couple times when Suki was on Rollie's head. And she wouldn't have been laughing. She's not laughing at Rollie because Rollie had no good comeback. Suki was tearing her up. But Suki then told her she needs to go take a bath. And she's fat. She's walking around here looking like a big back walrus. She killed me. Said she looked like a big back walrus. Like I said, Rollie got this education that's very remedial, elementary style. And she just can't keep up. Like, she's talking about fucking Suki's baby daddy and telling Suki that her piss is brown. It's just like the audacity. The audacity of you. Like, the irony of you talking about somebody having brown piss. I'm pretty sure that's yours. But Suki ends up saying that your booty hole is bigger than this whole room. And then they finally end up trying to get them all to leave. And then Suki's on top of this counter and starts throwing glasses, as would I would do the same thing. And then Rollie's fat ass is out here talking about, like, boy, she said this, and it's too specific for it not to be something that she's experienced. She said, start boiling that pussy in bleach and water. I'm like, sounds like you probably have experience doing that. Everything that Rollie says that has a little bit more detail to it, it's coming from experience. I'm believing that. She's sitting there calling Suki Tracy Morgan. It's just like the audacity of you to say that about her. Like, look at how you look. Let's talk about that. But Suki is telling Suki that she's tired of Rollie's big, fat, nasty ass. And she's thinking that, like, Rollie's thinking that she's big and thinking that everybody's supposed to be scared of her. And she ain't scared of her. She says she thinks just because she could cover the whole camera, she thinks she beat somebody's ass, a.k.a. like she's so big, she's covering the camera thinking that somebody's not seeing that she ain't putting in no damage. I'm like, exactly. Stand on it. But then she told her, too, like, she can't even fight longer than 15 seconds, which is what I said earlier. But she told them bitches that was around, because it was pretty much all the House B and maybe Mariah Lynn. She said, if y'all don't fuck with me, tell me. Tell me right now, because I don't do that flip-flopping fake shit. I said, she's real. She's real. That's what I would have said. Like, if y'all don't like me, tell me now so I don't have to be in your face and you don't have to be in mine. We don't have to act like we cool. And they all was like, nah, we got you. We got you. You good. And Suki then says she don't like how the bitch threw a drink in her face and her best friend ain't do nothing about it. And she said that shit on purpose because Sapphire was standing right over there so she could hear. And Sapphire starts claiming that she went through the table to go over there. Like I said, she didn't go through no table. She lovely walked over that table trying to act like she's trying to stop something, but she didn't do nothing. And then they end up getting each other's face at this point because Sapphire was sitting there saying that, what am I supposed to do with security? And Suki says, slap her. That's what you're supposed to do. Exactly. And I'm like, whenever security wasn't around, you still could have ran up on him. But she said, slap her like I did with Smiley when y'all was fighting. And Sapphire sitting there trying to act like she ain't do nothing. Like she did something. And Suki was like, bitch, fuck you. Like, fuck you. Get out of my face. And Suki was getting upset. And Sapphire's still sitting there trying to gaslight her, trying to act like she actually did something. She didn't do nothing. So Rollie's fat ass is sitting on the sprinter with Natalie, Mariah, and E.T. sitting there talking about how Sapphire's not fighting E.T. E.T.'s battles. And Natalie saying that's what pissed Suki off, which is she's rightfully vindicated in feeling that way. But Natalie is saying that Suki needs to pick a side. No, the fuck she don't. She's a grown-ass woman. She ain't got to pick no sides. Like, girl, fuck you. Like, fuck you, Natalie. How do you sound at 39 years old telling a grown-ass woman that she got to pick a side? Like, fuck, like, what? What, Natalie? But Rollie is then saying how Suki is saying that she beat Rollie's ass when security had to pull her off of Suki. And it's like, yeah, we know security had to pull you off of Suki because you big as fuck. You might suffocate that girl and they might have a homicide on their show. Rollie, be for real. Be for real. And if you want to be real, you didn't swing on Suki. We ain't see it. You threw your weight. Suki was swinging and she connected a couple times. So if you want to talk about somebody getting their ass beat, it was you. It was you. Suki is on the sprinter with Bobby. And Bobby is agreeing with Suki because I guess Bobby was there. We didn't see him in the scene, but apparently he was in the restaurant when it was happening. And they were talking about how whack Sapphire is. And Bobby agrees with Suki, which I'm like, yeah, I'm glad you do because I agree too. Sapphire ends up getting on the bus and Bobby checks her ass. He's like, what you did was whack. Like, you did her dirty. And then Sapphire sitting there trying to get hype with him, screaming, saying she ain't do nothing wrong. And Bobby get up in her face. Normally, I'm against men getting in women's face, period. But in this instant, he was validated in what he was feeling in that moment. He checked her. He said, like, no, you fake as fuck. Like, you a fake ass bitch for that. Like, you didn't do anything to help her out. And I'm like, thank you. I'm glad somebody is sitting here defending Suki besides Suki because nobody else was doing it. But Sapphire is saying that she's been loyal and she's in her confessional crying, saying that wasn't her best friend, talking about Suki. That's the devil. And she's crying in that confessional, looking so corny. But Sapphire gets on the bus with Natalie and her crew sitting there trying to plead her case with them, talking about, y'all know I'm not no punk ass bitch. They don't even know you, Sapphire. They've known you for all of, 2 weeks. They don't know who you are. And she's sitting there trying to tell them that she ain't no scary ass bitch. Ain't nobody gonna make her look like a punk or a fake ass friend. Natalie's sitting there trying to act like she cared when she did it. Like, she's literally orchestrating all this mess. Mariah ends up showing up, showing Rollie Suki's vagina. I guess it must be from an OnlyFans. And Rollie takes it to the camera and starts talking shit, talking about how dirty it is. It's just like, we don't want to see yours, but if we put yours on that camera, I'm pretty sure a lot of things could be said and they're not positive. But Natalie then started saying that she does no longer wants to be friends with Scotty. And it's the best thing for them. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It is the best thing for y'all. It's the best thing for Scotty. But we get to the next day. Damn, 20 minutes of me talking about the first scene. That shit was funny. I'm sorry. That's why I was talking about it. But the next scene, the next day, House B's at their house by the pool, enjoying their time. Sky's asking if anybody checked on Smiley. Obviously, they did not. They start recapping, talking about her accent and stuff, saying that she's always lying, saying that it was Coca-Cola in the cup that she's claiming that they're claiming that she was faking the whole seizure. Like I said, I still believe the seizure was real, but I feel like she definitely overreacted after the fact. But that's my opinion. But they started talking about the dinner and stuff, and Camila saying like the whole food situation was crazy. And Anna is pretty much saying it's a little bit deeper than that, and you can tell a difference between Suki and Sapphire's beef than Scotty and Natalie's, because their friendship seems to have been a real friendship. This friendship we already know was not a real friendship. But they get ready to go dance at the club. Apparently they're going to be learning some TikTok dances to do that viral video that they got. I know y'all seen it on TikTok for, what was that song? It's the Jamaican song. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but you know what I'm talking about. But Sapphire, Natalie, Mariah, and Butterball, aka Rollie, they sitting there recapping as well. Sapphire's getting emotional, talking about how Suki isn't speaking to her, rightfully so. They start talking about how Smiley was refusing medical. Mariah then starts talking about how she's confused about Natalie and Scotty. And then Natalie starts talking about it, saying that Scotty was texting her, calling her a bitch, telling her, fuck you. Mariah then mentions her weird comment that she made, and Suki checking her about it, and then Rollie ends up jumping in. Here we go again. Rollie trying to make something her scene and her moment, but she's sitting there saying like Scotty ain't do nothing to Mariah to be saying like it was weird. Yes, you might be right with that, but still, the whole situation was weird. So whether she said it in defense of Natalie or not, the whole situation was weird. So the word weird was it was appropriate. Like, I don't care. It was appropriate. But she's saying like, don't nobody know their relationship. Don't nobody know their friendship. And she's saying that's why she didn't jump in on their business and stuff. No, we know why you didn't jump in, because you want to stay on the show. If you would have jumped in and took Scotty's side, Natalie would have kicked your ass off the show and you wouldn't be back next season. And then you would be broke. You would be the broke ass bitch. And you still are though. But they start telling Mariah, well actually Mariah said too, like, stop. She's starting to pick up on Rollie being weird, and she ends up saying like, how you gonna sit here and tell me that I don't know Natalie when I've known Natalie for years? And it's like, yeah, low key, because Mariah's been in the reality TV game for probably a decade now too. Like, she's known of Natalie before you did. So like, shut up. But Natalie is saying that Suki got a mouth on her. You mad because she actually checked you? Is that why? Is that why, Natalie? But Rollie is sitting there claiming that she didn't want to fight Suki, and security ends up bringing ET because something apparently is wrong with her broken leg. I don't believe it. Whatever. But Rollie ends up trying to say that Sapphire stands 10 toes for Suki at all times. ET ends up backing it up. That's cap. Cap. Because the one time she could have proved that she stands 10 toes for Suki, she didn't do shit. So fuck all that. Like, fuck all that. And then Sapphire is sitting there saying too, like, what was fucked up the most to her was that Suki wasn't listening when she was trying to defuse the situation. It's like what I said, there was like, at that point, fuck defusing the situation. Get your friends back. But she said that she fucks with them, talking about Rollie and ET, which is why she didn't want to fight them. But every time Suki gets into it with Rollie and ET, it's about Smiley, which is her op. That is literally what she said, her op. Now I want to bring this back up. Do y'all not remember after the end of the fight that they had, scuffle, it really wasn't even a fight, when Suki jumped in trying to like defend Sapphire? What happened after, like probably 10 minutes after? Did Sapphire and Smiley not hug and like make up? So how is she still your op? And how was Suki wrong for doing what like, fuck you, fuck Sapphire. I'm about to get to the rest of it because it was nothing but excuses. Suki and Sapphire, they sitting they one-on-one. Suki was speaking some real shit. If you a real friend, you was like me. I felt like I was in church. I was like, yes. But Sapphire, she comes in claiming that she's there to take accountability for how Suki feels she was acting as her friend. So Suki said, take accountability for what you failed to do. I was like, boom, get her. Sapphire says she's going to apologize for Suki feeling. You could save it. Once you say that, save the rest of the bullshit because it's not an apology. But she said, I'm going to apologize for Suki feeling that she didn't have, aka I didn't have your back. Suki said, but did you? Sapphire said she did. And Suki said, well, then I don't need that apology because it's cap. Like, shut up. Like, stop doing that. But Sapphire said she could have done more because before she said that, she said, I've had your back 100%, 100,000%. And then she says, I could have done more. And then Suki said, okay, well, and she read my mind because I said, if you could have done more, then what are you apologizing for? Like, what are you apologizing for? And that's what Suki said. She said, you just said you had my back 1,000%. So what more could you have done? I was like, thank you. So then Suki ends up saying, because in this whole scene, you could tell Sapphire was starting to realize, like, I'm about to lose my meal ticket. I'm about to lose my meal ticket. That's the only reason why she's doing what she's doing, because she knows once Suki leaves you, you done. You good and done. Because, like, you only on the show because of her. But Suki said when she was going to rumble with Rollie, she knew she wasn't going to do shit because they got too close. Which I was like, yeah, you're right. Because at that point, you need to be break. If you're trying to defuse the situation, she should have broke it up then. But you didn't do nothing. There's a clip of her that's online where they was face to face, nose to nose. And Sapphire is standing like right there, but she's sitting there trying to act like she don't see it. Like, punk. You a punk. But Suki said if it was Sapphire and Rollie, she would have got in there and just went pop. I was like, exactly. Like, she would have popped her. And I said, that's what any friend would have done. But she said, I'm arguing with the both of them. And why are you sitting there just standing there like a punk ass bitch? I'm like, that's real. Like, that's fake as hell. Like, that's some real fake shit. But Suki says she don't expect that apology. Or she says she doesn't accept that apology. I'm like, I'm glad she told her that. She said, take accountability for it. But Suki was saying, too, that Sapphire is pretty much trying to deny that she... When Suki was saying that, Sapphire was pretty much sitting there trying to deny that she didn't have her back. So Suki then started saying, like, you didn't stand on your word because you talk about how anytime somebody tried you, anytime somebody tries Suki, Sapphire was going to jump on them. And she didn't stand on her word. She said, you're supposed to slide anybody about your family, which is essentially Suki. And Sapphire seemingly started to take accountability. She said she fucked up. Suki said, well, why didn't you admit that? It's like, we just having this conversation for no reason. And Suki was pretty much saying, too, like, riding for bitches. You're supposed to ride for your bitches. And she said that would have never been her. Like, if anything happened to Sapphire, she either got sent to jail, with her car getting repoed. If a nigga put his hands on her, Suki said she would have swung down and would have had her back. And we all know she would have. But Sapphire starts crying again, talking about building bonds with them, talking about Rollie and E.T., and she said she let that get in the way. And Suki said, fuck all them bonds. Like, fuck all them bonds. I done made bonds with these bitches too, but, like, I came in here with you. Out of anybody here, I'm going to have your back over anybody. Fuck. We can get close to these girls any day of the week, but I've known you before these girls, so why would I not have your back? So it's crazy how you don't have mine. I'm like, I'm glad she's saying it. But Suki's completely dumbfounded about it. She said she's embarrassed about how their friendship is looking. Sapphire then tries to take accountability because, like I said, she knows Suki is her meal ticket. And, yeah, so then they ended up hugging it out. And Suki said that you're going to have to fight that hoe if you really want me to be your friend. I'm like, exactly. That's the way you get it back. You got to go do what you said you was going to do. But now we get to Scotty and Natalie. This is the last bit of my rambling. We've been on here for 27 minutes. But Scotty and Natalie. Natalie is in her room. And Scotty knocks at the door, comes in there with no shoes on. This is her white girl side. Because black people don't walk around barefooted. Not outside. But Scotty comes in saying, what's up? Natalie said, what you mean, what's up? Because Scotty did come in on that, like, what type of time you on type energy. And Natalie read it. But Scotty said, you disrespected me. And Natalie said, it doesn't matter. I'm like, Natalie, fuck you. Like, how you going to say it don't matter when you disrespected somebody? And Scotty said, it does matter. I'm like, I'm glad she said that. And Natalie says, well, you disrespected me talking shit to me. That's, of course, Natalie. Deflecting. Always. Deflecting and not taking accountability for what she did. But Natalie said that Scotty's energy was giving what's up. So she's walking in, giving her the same energy. So she walked in here with no shoes on. She picked up on that too. But Natalie tells Scotty that they don't have to be friends because all the girls are even saying that Natalie has been disrespected by Scotty, which The only girls that's saying that is your friends, your minions, I should say. But Natalie then saying that Scotty tried to eat 2 plates in front of all them girls, and they didn't have any food, which is why she's claiming, which we all know this story is cap, which is so funny, but they got to elaborate with it. But I'm going to roll with it right now. But she said them girls didn't have food, which is why she got mad about Scotty eating a whole nother plate. One thing led to the other, and Scotty swings first on Natalie. Like, she swung, and then, like, her phone fell towards Natalie. Natalie, of course, reaches. When I tell you, and I'm going to put this disclaimer here, because y'all know, if you've been rocking with me this year, or even, it's just, if this year alone, you already know I don't like Scotty. But if you've been rocking with me since season 2 of this show, and even last season, you know I really don't like her. When I tell you I got to give her props, she finally did her big one, because she snatched Natalie up by her hair, and I was like, please swing. Please swing. I was sitting there saying, please swing. When she pulled her in that room, and Natalie was trying to yank her ball. When I tell you Natalie was trying to, and that's why I said they cannot, the fact that they still friends after this is crazy. Because Natalie was trying to scalp her ass. That wasn't like no fake friend fight. That was some real shit. They was really in there getting it. Scotty was pop, 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 swinging on Natalie. I was like, what? It actually happened? Natalie got back there and pushed her back there. And like Natalie swung once. She connected one time, but that was the only time I saw. But Scotty was swinging on Natalie. If you ask me, Scotty wanted to fight. But after the fact, when you see, I'm going to get to it. Hold on. Let me just, I like to build up. But they get broken up because security gets, and that was a smart play by Scotty. Scotty actually made a smart move by pulling her away from security, because security was behind Natalie. She pulled her to that side over there where nobody was, so she could get her licks in. So she got her licks in for a little bit, but they ended up getting pulled away by security. And Natalie ends up saying, no more. Boy, this was so funny. This was so funny. Natalie said, no more jets. That's all you care about is money. Scotty said, no, I don't. Natalie said, all you care about is money, and you have none of it. When I tell you I fucking yelled, because it was so true, and it's so funny, because it's like I said a couple weeks ago, this is where Scotty will always go wrong with Natalie, by literally doing nothing but attaching herself to everything Natalie does. Natalie signs her checks. Natalie is getting her all these opportunities. A bitch like Natalie, when you give her everything and you let her give you everything, the minute you piss her off or you turn on her, she's going to throw it in your face every single chance you get. And she's doing it on TV. This show is being watched by millions of people now. Millions of people are watching you get told about yourself on TV, and you look crazy. But she said that, and that made me laugh. Natalie says, look at your face. And Scotty said, I'm good. Look at your face. Natalie said, I look good. And the way she walked away had me laughing. And then she ended up telling the cameras to go look at Scotty's face. The way she said it, I started laughing, because I was like, there ain't nothing wrong with her face. They showed that camera on Scotty, and Scotty got a cut right here. Face and then Scotty's yellow. So you can see everything. Scotty, why are you still friends with this girl to this day? I give up. I don't even like her, but I give up. I wanted the best for her in this instance, but I can't. Man, she don't even want it. This is a full-fledged domestic relationship. But like I said, Natalie might have gotten some damage in eventually. I don't know how she did it, but she did. But the whole situation was giving Pimp and his hoe, or her hoe. Pimp, Natalie, hoe, Scotty. Natalie called Scotty entitled, saying that she created a monster. She said, I created a monster, and I'm taking accountability for it. I'm like, damn, you let this girl take ownership over you at this point? And then Scotty is sitting there trying to explain to Natalie why she took and ate 2 plates of food that she ordered. I said, Scotty, this is not your mama. You don't have to explain shit to her about why you eating food. What? And she sat there and was explaining. I was like, man, fuck it. I skipped all the way through. And then I got to the end just for them to sit there and make up. And Natalie sitting there crying. I'm like, boo, boring, lame, throwing tomatoes. Like, what? They are insane. So we finally get to the last scene. If y'all still here, y'all are some real ones. Drop in the comments. Thumbs up the video if you loving what you hear. Thumbs up the video and subscribe. But yeah, House B. I got to do my self promotions, y'all. House B, they on the sprinter on their way out. They all look good and happy. Natalie and her minions are on their sprinter without Scotty. And I think Sapphire was on there too. Nope, Sapphire wasn't on there. It was Natalie, E.T., Rollie, and Mariah. Natalie is on that bus talking shit about Scotty after she just made up with her. This is why I say, Scotty, you can. Why are you friends with her to this day? I give up. I give up. But she's saying that all Scotty does is take, take, take. I give Scotty everything, and she takes, takes, takes. It's kind of true. It is low key. But the confessional lighting, I don't know if that pissed y'all off, but it pissed me off. It got too bright towards the end, like with Natalie and Rollie's. I was like, y'all playing too much with these filters. But they get to Pier 1. Mariah claims that she wants to put the drama in the bag and she's trying to enjoy herself for the rest of the night. House B ends up hoping to do their TikTok dances that they ended up doing, which apparently they did. We just didn't get to see it on the TV. But House B, not House B, Sapphire, she ends up arriving solo. Suki and Scotty come in together. Suki and Sapphire ain't talking. Suki said that she forgave her, but she can't fuck with her unless she's sliding them bitches that she knows she's supposed to slide. I said, you real. You too real. But Mariah, Tasiki, and Suki, they end up performing, and Natalie ends up calling all the girls together on the stage to do some big group hug. And Suki continuing to be real. She said, nah, fuck that. Like, Suki was walling around, hair getting slung and stuff. Because she was like, I'm not hugging them bitches. Like, they all fake. Like, the ones that's over there was talking shit. And then she said she heard that Mariah was the main one talking shit, saying she wanted to fight her and she wanted to spare her. And that's where we left the end of the episode. I got through it in 35 minutes. Okay, not bad. But next week, Mariah is the new target. Rollie's big fat ass is trying to go after the little girl yet again. And I hope Mariah does her big one. We'll see. Even though I don't like Mariah either. But Mariah ends up snatching Sapphire. We get to see that now. And it appears like Sapphire might be fighting Suki's battle in this instance. And it looks like Sapphire might be getting washed in that river. And that was not a play on words. I was not trying to do that, but it actually works. Mariah's about to give her a bath in that river. But that's all I got to say. Drop y'all's comments down below. Thumbs up the video. I actually had a decent time watching this episode. It was very refreshing to not have to be pissed off the whole time because it was funny. The episode was funny to me. But let me know what y'all think. I might go live tomorrow. Go to my community page. I'm going to put a poll up. Let me know if y'all want to go live and talk about it. But if not, I'll see y'all later. Peace.